Everybody know how to turn off the Morse code?
In a G1000 or something else?
In any airplane.
Oh, well,
Proceed.
well, it's different.
All you do is on your audio panel, you listen to the nav, and then if you push the button, it'll say ID, and that's when you can hear the Morse code. Push it again, it turns it off. The Morse code, don't quote me on this, but somewhere it said something like the Morse code is actually transmitted on like an AM signal or something. So it's actually two separate signals that the stuff's being transmitted over. And so that's why you can tune it in and out. It has something to do with
So the tone is just
frequency
a
modulation. Yes. Don't ident it.
So just like push it.
Yep, just hit nav 1 or whatever, and you're just listening to it. And you'll hear the VOR in the background with that little sound, and that's that 1800 revolutions per minute we talked about. But you won't have to listen to Morse code unless you turn it on. Okay? Did I miss any? Awesome. Hiwas. Hiwas is an Indian squaw. Man, nobody laughed. Gosh.
You have them down below.
Guess we just don't have sense of humors.
Are you sure, or did you see
No, I
pop
saw
on?
it right for you.
Oh, there it is.
There.
Hiwas. Hazardous in-flight weather advisory service is a pre-recorded information that is transmitted over the VOR. How do I listen to it? Same way. Turn off the ID, listen to the VOR. That's just pre-recorded information that's going to tell me what's going on in the area. A lot of times if you've got bad weather, you can either listen to Hiwas or you can just tune in 122.0 and listen to all the other pilots asking questions, and you don't even have to talk to anybody. You can get all the information you need. Because whenever there's bad weather, 1220 just clogs up real quick. All right, down here I've got, so here I've got V21. What's that? Victor 21. Right here I've got V8-64. What's that?
That's Victor 8 and Victor 64.
All right. Notice the Victor 64 is right here, Victor 8 is right here, and they combine into one into this VOR. And then at that point, Victor 8 actually splits off over here, and Victor 64 looks like it ends. Oh no, it continued down here.
Yeah.
So they're just joining together. It's just telling you got two Victor Airways and they're splitting off, just like roadways. All of your Victor Airways were originally designed to be just like a road system. Technically, like they used to have publications where it was like Victor 6, you could jump on it at Albuquerque and it would take you to New York. Just like a road. I get on I-15, hop on it, it's going to take me to St. George. So that's originally kind of how they were designed. Now that we do more direct to navigation, of course, they're becoming quite obsolete. So I've got a T on the airway right here, T249. T is a GPS. GPS airway. Notice that it's got a MEA of 2500 G. That G is a GPS MEA. So I can only fly it if I have an IFR approved GPS. Up here I have, there we go. We got this with the J50. What's that? It's a jet route. Up here I've got Q11. It's a Q route. It's a high altitude GPS route. So low altitude GPS route T, high altitude GPS route Q. Are you ready for what the FAA guy told us at the chart seminar? So just remember, if you're using GPS, you're a QT. There you go. Or you'll never forget it.
Okay, he still gets his full salary.
And he's got retirement too.
Yeah, but I bet he contemplates suicide every day.
I don't make any money.
I mean, he's pretty happy.
Yeah, let's come up here. All right. So let's say that I'm coming in here to Yarku. Coming to Yarku here. What's the lowest altitude that I can request if I'm in a Diamond Star?
I'm going to take the Mocha for 600.
Yes. We're in. Okay, so as long as you have IFR approved GPS that has a current database, you can request the Mochas because I don't need navigation, and a Mocha gives me optical clearance. Now, we had a recent little experience with Los Angeles Center. They had no idea what a Mocha was. So, you're actually going to experience this a lot as you do your training, or as you're going with your students and stuff. ATC does not know crap. You have to remind them. Who do they deal with all day?
Governments.
Jets. They're dealing with airlines Part 121 operators. They forget all of this stuff. Okay, it's just like when you start teaching instruments, all of a sudden you forget everything about private pilots. Like I would probably be horrible. It'd take me
That's okay.
a little while to get back to it.
Everybody else
Okay?
is that honest.
Yeah. Well, privates don't know that.
So that's where that
Private
mentality
anyway.
comes from.
No, I don't know anything about it. I didn't say you didn't.
Oh, we don't.
So
either.
it's the same thing. They deal with jets all day, so they've forgotten all these rules about low altitude aircraft. So sometimes you have to remind them. If they're totally stubborn with you, sir, can I talk to your supervisor? Supervisor comes over. It's awesome. Okay, make sure you're right. If you're not right, you're probably going to hook up with a violation. But if you're right, don't back down on it. Okay, what they tried to do is they're trying to give us an altitude above what we could because of oxygen. I said, I can't do that. I don't have oxygen. Why can't you give me a lower altitude? Sir, that's the lowest I can give you. And I was just like, is there a reason you can't? And all of a sudden a different voice comes on the radio, which I assume was the supervisor. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Okay, so sometimes you just got to remind them. They train them to be 121 controllers and 135 controllers. They don't train them in a lot of the smaller stuff. So, okay, so Mocha, I can fly that Mocha if I've got IFR GPS.
Can you file it?
You cannot file it. You have to file the MEA. So if you were going on a 14,000 foot route, you have to file 14,000, okay? Not only that, but when you file, you have to follow the east-west rule of altitudes also. Once you get up there and you're in controlled airspace, you can request anything you want. But filing, you have to file the appropriate east-west, all that stuff.
When you file, do you need to have the oxygen for what you're filing for?
No. So I file 14,000, but once I get up there, if I'm equipped with GPS, I say, hey, I don't have oxygen, I need to lower.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't get in the clouds before you get there, and then they're like, no.
So, and that's the thing, you gotta, if it's your safety, it's your life, right? It's not theirs. So don't back down. Is there a reason you can't give me a lower altitude, okay? So, really quick, coming along here, this is like a question, I guess, probably towards the end. Let's cover it real quick. A MORA. Here's a MORA. A minimum off-route altitude, also known as an AROCA
Where are we?
by the FAA. It is number 46.
Why are some red and some green?
What?
All right, Phil.
Okay, MORAs. I've got a MORA here. 14.8, 13.6. Why is this one green?
Oxygen.
Oxygen is below 14,000. 14,000 is my oxygen limitation. So, if I'm flying this airway here, and I file on my flight plan, I think this is Reno up here. If I file Reno, wow, it's off the map. Let's find another route.
Oh, good, yeah.
There we go. So right here, if I file Mena to Coaldale, what altitude do I have to fly? I have to fly 14.3. If you want the Victor Airway, you have to file Mena, Victor 564, Coaldale.
That's if you want the MEA.
If you want the MEA, you have to file the Victor Airway.
But if you file direct,
Otherwise, they assume direct navigation, and you have to fly the MORA.
no.
I found that out because they were like, climb maintain 14,000. I was like, I can't go to 14,000. I want 11.5. I can't give you 11.5, sir. Is there a reason why not? Sir, you were not cleared for the Victor Airway. Well, I'm on it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes. Could you clear me for it? Roger, descend and maintain 11.5. You're cleared, Victor. It was ridiculous. But seriously, like, I had to keep asking questions like that because he was not going to budge. He was like, no, you have to go to 14. And I'm like, I'm not going to 14. My airplane's not going to make it. I was already at a density altitude of 14.5 for the day. Okay, so make sure you know your rules because they don't. Okay, but that's why don't file that Victor Airway. They're going to give you the MORA. Okay.
So you have to fly the MORA when you're not.
Yes.